tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Which McBee said. She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all of our yesterdays have lighted fools their way to a dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the Valley of Death, rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the Valley of Death, rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though, the soldier knew. Someone had blundered. There's not to make reply, there's not to reason why, there's but to do and die. Into the Valley of Death rode the 600. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at, with shot and shell, boldly they rode, and well, into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabering the gunners there, charging an army, while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke, Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back. But not the 600. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made, all the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade, noble 600. The Light, the Dead Sea, by Frank Stanford. There are many people who come back after the doctor has smoothed the sheet around their body and left the room to make his call. They die, but they live. They are called the dead who lived through their deaths, and among my people they're considered wise and honest. They float out of their bodies and light on the ceiling like a moth, watching the efforts of everyone around them. The voices and the images of the living fade away. A roar sucks them under the wheels of a darkness without pain. Off in the distance, there is someone like a signal man swinging a lantern. The light grows, a white flower. It becomes very intense, like music. They see the faces of those they loved, the truly dead who speak kindly. They see their father sitting in a field. The harvest is over, and his cane chair is mended. There's a towel around his neck. The odor of bay rum. Then they see their mother, standing behind him with a pair of shears. The wind is blowing. She is cutting his hair. The dead have told these stories to the living.
Now how? What time of day is it, lad?
Thou art so fat-witted with drinking of old sack, and unbuttoning of thee after supper, and sleeping upon benches after noon, that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of the day, unless hours were cups of sack, and minutes captains?
Oh, indeed. You come near me now. Now how? For we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus. And I prithee, sweet wag, when thou art king, let not us that are squires of the night be called thieves of the day. Let us be Diana's foresters, minions of the moon. And let men say we be men of good government, being governed as the sea is by our noble and chaste mistress the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, for the fortune of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea. For proof, a purse of gold most resolutely snatched on Monday night, and most dissolately spent on Tuesday morning, got with swearing, lay back, and spent with crying, bring in. Now as low an ebb as the foot of a ladder, and by as high a flow as the ridge of the gallant.
By the Lord, thou sayest true, lad. And is not my hostess of the tavern a most sweet wench?
Why, what have I to do with my hostess of the tavern?
Well, thou hast called her to a reckoning many a time and oft.
Did I ever call for thee to pay thy part?
No, I'll give thee thy due. Thou hast paid all there.
Yea, and elsewhere, so far as my coin would stretch, and where it would not, I have used my credit.
Yea, and so used it that were not so apparent that thou art heir apparent. But I prithee, sweet wag, shall there be gallows standing in England where thou art king, when thou art king? Do not thou, when thou art king, hang a thief?
No, thou shalt.
Shall I? Oh, rare! By the Lord, I'll be a brave judge.
Thou judgest false already. I mean, thou shalt have the hanging of the thieves, and so become a rare hangman.
Thou hast the most unsavory similes, and art indeed the most comparative rascaliest, most sweet young prince. Thou art indeed able to corrupt a saint. But thou hast done much harm upon me, Hal. Oh, God forbid thee for it. Before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now am I, if a man should speak truly, little better than one of the wicked. I must give over this life, and I will give it over. I must give over this life, and I will give it over. By the Lord, and I do not. I am a villain.
Where shall we take a purse tomorrow, Jack?
Zounds, where thou wilt, lad.
I see a good amendment of life in thee, from praying to purse-taking.
Why, Hal, 'tis my vacation, Hal. 'Tis my vocation, Hal. 'Tis no sin for a man to labor for his vocation.
the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed. And everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere, in sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it reel the shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born?
Thrice the brinded cat hath new, thrice it once hedge pitch wine.
Harper cries, 'tis time, 'tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poisoned entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone, days and nights hath 31, sweltered venom, sleeping gut, boil thou first in the charmed pot.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
The fillet of a fenny snake in the cauldron boil and bake, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, mull and gulf, of the ravined salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming shrew, gall of goat and slips of hue, and add thereto a Tolkien's chaldron for the ingredients for our cauldron. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.